All right, so I guess we're on a Legion kick. 2
Yeah,
weeks in a row.
guess so.
So we're going to talk about the upcoming releases that were shown off at Mini Stravaganza, and I guess there was something at the San Diego Comic-Con as well.
Yes, there've been a couple of things released there as well.
So we're going to cover what we know so far, what we've seen so far, take a look at them, talk about them, kind of how we feel about them, and go from there.
Yeah,
I'm your host, Isaiah,
I'm Chris.
and this is Locked Loot.
We do not plunge headlong into folly on the orders of a single madman.
He's got nukes.
You're the last boots on the ground.
Position standby for defensive fire.
Jedi. Like my father before me.
Ding, ding. Vex on the field.
Attention on deck. This channel is now under military control.
All right, so let's go a little far back. Because we missed a lot. We're just going to cover some bounty hunters real quick. So they did it'll just be real quick because there's not a whole lot to them. None of the bounty hunters we know and love. They just changed some faction, made them part of the Shadow Collective stuff. You have Boba Fett, infamous bounty hunter. I'm glad to see him get a rework. He's needed it. Everyone's been kind of complained about how kind of useless Boba Fett is in just the Empire. So he's allowed in the CIS as well. No, Empire. He's just Empire.
He's still just Empire.
But hey, they gave him a rework, which is good. He's needed it. So he has Jump 2, Arsenal 2, Bounty, of course. Impervious, he's a Mandalorian. Independent Aim or Dodge. And Sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter 2.
Sharpshooter 2, no cover. Red, Surge both ways, 5 life, 3 defense, 2 training upgrade, 1 comm upgrade, 2 gear upgrade. Now, they talked about releasing gear with him. I can't remember exactly what gear, but they talked about releasing that and how he's going to have some new command cards as well that will be compatible with the old Boba if you wanted to run the old one. Guns, he hasn't changed too much. It's just a nice little rework for him.
Yeah.
I feel like that he's needed it. I think all the bounty hunters needed it. So you've got Bosk, his change. He's allowed in the CIS 2.
Yep.
So Bounty, Enrage 3, Independent Surge 2. Now, what they changed is they gave them all independent.
Yep.
Which is great. I mean, they've needed a little bit of a shift. Giving that extra ability really helps them. They did the same thing to Cad Bane. They gave him Independent Dodge 2, and now he's allowed in the Empire.
Yep.
So making these guys cross-faction is great. It'll be a lot of fun, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. Those are just some of the fun guys. Another thing to talk about was, of course, swoop bikes.
Yep. They were released a while ago, but they
were released a little while ago. We didn't get a chance to cover them. Cover 1, independent aim or dodge, reinforcements. So they deploy after everything. Speeder 1, that's normal for a speeder bike.
Yep.
But the big thing is it has the independent.
Yeah.
Is really good. And so it's allowed in Gar and Rebels. So good guys finally get a twin faction thing. Okay, let's talk about what we're really here to talk about today. They leaked they showed off some Mandalorian stuff.
Oh, yes.
We've been talking about it for years. I think it was like 2020 is when they said, by the way, we're working on Mandalorian stuff. And we're like, ooh, we're getting the Mando.
And we finally got him revealed.
Yes, so we got Din Djarin, the Mandalorian.
And Grogu.
And Grogu. Grogu's a different story. Okay, let's talk about Din Djarin. So first of all, he's allowed in the Empire and the Rebels.
Which is interesting.
Well, this is also really interesting because this means Rebels can get bounty.
Yeah, the Rebels finally have a bounty hunter.
Which is awesome. I mean, it's great to finally see it. He's an operative, of course. 5 life, red dice, 3 courage. 3 courage, that's a lot of courage, which is nice. Surge both ways. Standard Mandalorian. The only difference is he's only speed 2.
Yeah.
It's kind of slow.
Unless you give him his jetpack, then he's speed 3.
Yeah. If you give him his jetpack, he becomes speed 3.
Yep.
Does he become speed 3?
Yep.
Yeah, increase your maximum speed by 1 gain. You gain jump 2. Which is good.
Yeah.
Okay, so Arsenal 2.
Bounty, of course.
Bounty.
Impervious.
Yeah.
Independent aimer or dodge.
Tactical, which is nice. Because his guns, both of it, his vibro knife and his IB-94, both have lethal. But so tactical 1 fits. He's got 2 training upgrades.
His IB-94 has long shot 1 as well.
Yeah, so it can go up to
3.
So, but hey, upgrades. 2 training upgrades, a comms upgrade, 2 core, and his personal weapon. His personal weapon,
I wonder if he's gonna get the dark saber.
I think they talked about him getting the dark saber, but the only one they revealed was Din's armband rifle, which is 3 black, immobilize 2,
Suppressive.
suppressive. If you are not engaged, so 2 actions. If you are not engaged, perform a speed 1 move, then choose an enemy in line of sight. Roll 1 attack die. If the result is a red or a crit, crit or hit, sorry, the chosen unit suffers 1 wound and gains 1 suppression token.
And then also revealed with that was his 3-pip, which is the whistling birds.
During his activation, he gains action. Choose up to 3 enemies at range 1 and in the line of sight. For each of the chosen unit, roll 1 white attack die for each mini in that unit. Suffers 1 wound for each crit, hit, or surge.
That's really good.
That's fantastic. That'll be a lot of fun. Now, so he's a duelist. He wants to be in the fray.
Yeah.
His build, it just wants to be in there.
Yep.
Whistling birds, range 1. His gun itself is a melee weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, sure, that is a awesome ability that that split, so that dual action, round 1, he's just like, I'm going to look at you and I'm going to deal damage, essentially.
Yeah.
Because he's rolling 3 black. No, sorry, 1 red. So he rolls a red die, which means he can miss, but odds are he's going to hit. Which means he looks at you and says, you suffer 1 damage. Great at getting some wounds on some Jedi, too.
Oh, yeah.
And some units that would be harder to get wounds on, and stuff you don't want wounds on. Because, let's talk about this, because this is not considered an attack. There's no cover.
There's no cover.
It's just straight up, I roll a die, and if I roll a hit or a crit, you take damage.
Mm-hmm. And it's a red die, too.
Yeah. So, that is really interesting. His build is also kind of cool. I got a feeling they're going to give him the Darksaber. They're going to let him take the Darksaber, or a version of the Darksaber.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of training, a lot of kit, gear. Can we talk about his flamethrower?
I love his flamethrower.
Blast, spray, suppressive, range 1.
Range 1 to melee.
Yeah, which is nice. So he definitely wants to be in the fray with that flamethrower, with that rifle. His gun itself is only ranged 1 to 2. He wants to be in the fray.
Oh, yeah.
I think his jetpack's a little high costed. 15 points, man.
I mean, it gives him jump 2 and moves his speed up by 1. I think that's worth it.
Yeah, but considering that stuff is normally built into normal Mandalorians,
I think it's because going with the show, he didn't get it till end of the.
They have
first
thematic
season.
reasons for it, but I still feel like they could have made it cheaper.
Yeah.
Okay. We got to talk about Grogu. Counterpart.
Yep. Counterpart Din Djarin.
Now this is a new keyword: hunted. When Grogu is defeated, replace his mini with an unclaimed the asset objective token. Grogu may never be restored. Each trooper unit gains action claim the asset. At the end of the game, if an enemy has claimed the asset objective token, that unit's controlling player gains the victory token. Latent power. At the end of your activation, you may gain 1 suppression to roll 1 red defense dice. On a surge, choose an enemy at range 1 of this mini, and that unit gains 2 suppression.
And 2 immobilize tokens.
On a blank, remove a wound or poison token from a friendly non-droid trooper unit at range 1.
It has the keyword small.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay, it has its uses. The latent power is really nice, but you've got a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
It could, red dice. It's a just under a 50-50 shot that it really does anything.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good. It gives Din Djarin an extra life too.
Yeah.
But that downside of hunted.
Yeah.
Your worst case scenario with this thing. The opponent has a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Targets Mando. Kills Mando. Takes the objective.
Yep.
Runs off. Now you have a bounty hunter getting the bounty victory token and the hunted.
Yeah, that's 2 victory tokens for free.
That can turn a game. That's a loss into a victory.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. So I feel like the hunted is not the best choice.
No, it's not.
He's not worth it. I guess some games you could,
Mm-hmm.
but I think most games you're not going to want him in the list.
No, you're not.
Grogu in the list.
No.
I mean, sure, it restores a wound. It can restore a wound every other
It's
round.
not worth the risk.
Yeah, the risk is way too great to the game to take him. Overall, I like Din Djarin. He's going to be a fun bounty hunter to play. I like that he can run the Rebels and the Empire. The Rebels, I think, they'll get an interesting thing with him because I want to see a list with Sabine, Mando, and a bunch of Mandalorians.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Just a complete Mando list. Maybe future battle forces, guys. Mandalorian. It's a bunch of Mandalorians, Sabine, and Din Djarin.
That list would be so hard to kill.
It'd be so hard to kill, but it'd be so fun to run. Okay. That I think. Okay. Unless there's any other like almost fully revealed. Another thing they showed off. I don't think they showed off. We didn't see his cards, but we're getting IG-88.
Yeah.
We're getting 2 IG-88s actually. I can't remember where I saw their cards, but it's like a nanny and then an actual like killer, which is cool. I like that. That'll be a lot of fun. I think it's about time we got IG-88.
Yeah.
I'm just looking through some of the older reveals to see if there's anything worthwhile like talking about that hasn't like been fully talked about as far as like Shadow Collective goes.
So we did get Boba Fett from the Mandalorian released as well. We got his cards revealed.
Oh yes, we did. Yeah. So let's talk Boba Fett.
So Boba Fett, the Old and Wise. He's only available to use with the Rebels.
Rebels get another bounty hunter.
We get another bounty hunter. Jump 1, Arsenal 2, Impervious, Independent Standby, Sentinel, Sharpshooter 1, and Tactical 1. Doesn't have bounty.
No. No bounty, which is fine. Jump 1, Arsenal 2, Impervious, Independent Standby. Don't give him an order. He gets a free standby.
Yeah.
He's got training upgrades and he's got the gear upgrades, so you can put a Sentinel on him.
Yeah.
Give him Sentinel.
No, he's already got Sentinel.
Does he have Sentinel? Oh,
Yeah.
He does have Sentinel built in. Tactical 1 already. Throw an O push on him. He's got Tactical 2. All of his cards are gonna be weapon related. I feel like this is gonna be a lot of fun for Rebels.
Actually, his full cards got released too.
Oh, I didn't see his full cards.
That's right.
Oh, now I see him.
So, his 3-pip, Rule with Respect. Boba Fett in 2 units. While Boba Fett has a face-up order token, when a friendly unit at range 1 in line of sight of him makes a ranged attack, add 1 black tie to that unit's attack pool.
Straight up add a die to the attack pool, which is really nice.
It specifies unit. It doesn't say anything else. It's unit.
Just at range 1. Making his way in the galaxy. Boba Fett. Boba Fett may not perform an attack actions during his activation. At the end of his activation, he may perform an attack action with the following weapon against each enemy unit at range 1 and in line of sight. 2 red, 1 black, blast, impact 1, versatile, up to melee to range 1. That's good.
That's really good.
I mean, it's a Grievous one.
Yep. And then it's 1 pip, a simple man. 1 unit. If Boba Fett is not issued an order with this card, Boba Fett gains Marksman this round, gains 1 aim token, and increases the range of his ranged weapon by 1 to a maximum of 5. If Boba Fett is issued an order with this card, at the start of the activation phase, a unit at range 1 of Boba Fett may perform a speed 1 move.
This is interesting. So these cards are great for Boba Fett. It gives him some extra versatility with his other ones because I remember now they specified that these could also be taken on the other Boba Fett.
Oh, interesting.
So because it doesn't specify specifically this Boba Fett, it just specifies Boba Fett.
Yeah.
So all of his cards are now interchangeable. You can build a very versatile bounty hunter here.
Mm-hmm.
And giving his abilities that aren't just a pure weapon for a round is really good. I'm glad to see like Boba Fett getting reworked like this. He's gonna be a fantastic operative. I feel like getting this, running that stuff in the Empire will be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like it. It's definitely showing that they care about the older stuff. We're
Yeah.
gonna be seeing more reworks in the future, which is really nice because there's some cards that need some reworks.
Chewie, sorry.
Yeah, Chewie could definitely use a rework. It was, I mean, personally, I think Leia could too. Like some of the older ones.
Leia definitely needs it. She's
Don't touch Han. We saw what happened last time you guys touched Han. You gave him steady.
We don't
need more of that crap running around. Okay. In other news,
they also at San Diego Comic-Con they revealed Commander Cody.
Commander Cody. Okay, he's really cool. I like him a lot already. Just looking at him. So he's 105 points. 5-2 courage, 5 life, 2 courage, surge to crit, 1 command, 1 training, 1 gear. A lot of abilities.
Observe 2, jump 1, take cover 1, direct vehicle, target 1.
2 red for his combat training, 2 red, 1 black for his
DC 15 with lethal 1 and impact 1.
range up to 4. That's a long range for him,
Yeah.
which is really good. I'm Commander Cody. That's a good commander. Direct vehicle.
Yeah.
There's direct vehicle, which means if he's around a vehicle, he just gives it an order.
Yeah.
That's good. Waxer and Boyle.
Yep, Waxer, Scout 1, Discipline 1, and Leader. And then Boyle has Guardian 1, Scout 1, and Leader.
Scout 1, Discipline 1. Okay, I'm going to talk about this for a little bit because also they showed off their point costs already, which is 15 points, I believe. 15, yeah. 15 points apiece. That's all right. It's a little heavy. They're not heavy troopers.
No, they're not.
They're your core trooper.
They're just leaders.
Yeah. But it gives them good abilities. Scout 1, Discipline, and Leader, and then Scout 1 and Leader and Guardian. Those are good upgrades to throw on a clone.
Yeah.
And so I feel like this is kind of where you want to go with clones. You want to give them a lot of abilities. You want to give them units. I think, okay, let's take Commander Cody, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
He's 105 points. How does he compare to Rex?
I don't know. You're the GAR specialist here.
We haven't seen his command cards.
Yeah.
It will depend heavily on his command cards. Yeah. So, for instance, this Commander Cody. Observe 2, that's fine. That's kind of what he wants to do. I mean, it's no giving out aims.
Yeah.
He has jump 1. He has take cover, so he does hand out dodges. And he has target 1. Nice fine. It's going to heavily depend on his command cards.
Yeah.
I feel like with his build, his command cards are going to be vehicle focused.
Mm-hmm.
Just because Republic doesn't have too much support for their vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
All their units are trying to focus on their
on the core and special forces.
So vehicles are going to be a big part of the discussion.
Yeah.
And of course, take cover 1 is just good in clones.
Yeah.
Being able to hand out those dodges is fantastic. I feel like jump isn't something major. I feel like jump isn't going to be. It's the least consequential thing in his kit.
Yeah.
Honestly, you don't need jump. I feel like a fun list would be Cody and Rex together.
Oh yeah.
Depending on their command cards. I want to see Rex get altered a little bit. Again, I think so. The issue is that clones aren't in a good place right now. Those are some good cards.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of the clones need that change. Those point reworks. So I'm like, okay, once they get clones right, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Decrease their points a little bit. Commander Cody will be perfect in there.
Mm-hmm.
He'll fit in just fine. I like those. I like Commander Cody. I like Waxer and Boyle. I especially like that they didn't make him heavies.
Yeah. Because usually that's what they do.
Those guys are heavy upgrades. So they're like, no, they're not Commander heavy upgrades. They're just personnel upgrades.
Yeah.
Which means you can take other things with them. Scout 1, get your units into position. Guardian for those commanders. Mm-hmm. Definitely keeps your stuff alive. I like those releases for it. Overall, I think the Bounty Hunter changes are fantastic. I can't wait to run them. Mm-hmm. So many, with them being so cross-faction, when we hop back into gaming this, at tournaments and at nights and everything, it's going to be a different game.
Yeah.
Just because you're going to have so much versatility in your lists.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely going for that. How many different lists can we make? Definitely creative. I really like that they're going down that road. I want creative list building.
Yeah.
I want somebody to find that next weird thing that wins. It's kind of a shorter bit today. We're pre-recording this, of course. We just want to cover it very quickly. I'm on vacation this week, so that's why it's a little bit shorter. We're just quickly covering those before I run off into the mountains to hide away near a lake somewhere and cry over all the Armada losses and everything. But yeah, all kidding aside, yeah, I'm on vacation. We got a shorter week this week. I don't know what Chris is doing. He's probably hanging about. He better be streaming if he's at home.
I most likely will be.
I mean, you've listened this far. You wouldn't be here 20 minutes in if you didn't at least if you couldn't tolerate our conversation.
Yeah.
So follow us wherever you get your podcasts.
Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Of course, check out our Discord if you want. I mean, we're not on there very much. It's an old thing. We set it up for the community when it gets built. We're still kind of new to this, but we're having fun. Check out our YouTube, Twitch. Links in the description as always. I'm your host, Isaiah.
I'm Chris.
And we're logging out.